This is Korean news for January 28, 2022. It has been reported that the team that followed President Moon's overseas tour recently had multiple confirmed cases of corona. The Blue House disclosed that President Moon returned to work after 3 days of self-quarantine after returning home, but did not announce whether members of the tour team were infected. On the 27th, the People's Power criticized, "It seems difficult to avoid criticism for violating the minimum responsibility and transparency as the head of a democratic government for any reason. What the hell are you trying to hide?" President Moon visited 3 countries on the 15th to 22nd days for 6 nights and 8 days, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. After 3 days of self-quarantine, he went to work on the 26th. The Blue House only said that it was measured in accordance with quarantine guidelines. However, it is known that several members of the Blue House tour team were confirmed positive after returning home. A key official at the Blue House confirmed, "It is true that the coronavirus occurred during this tour. Since some members of the tour team tested positive after returning home, it is possible that they returned home together with the president in a private plane." The Blue House did not disclose the fact that the tour team was infected. This is a different response from the Ministry of Health and Welfare. The ministry in charge of corona recently announced that nearly 30 employees had been confirmed. President Moon has also ordered several times to be transparent about the coronavirus. Regarding this, a Blue House official said, "The situation of Omicron is serious and we decided that it would be meaningless to disclose them individually when there were more than 10,000 people. It is not a cover-up. If the media had asked, it would have been transparent." Another official said it was a national security issue. However, the Blue House made it public in July of last year when an administrator was confirmed for the first time. The executive also said that there was no overlap with President Moon. However, this time, the attendant did not preemptively disclose the fact that a confirmed person had emerged. In this regard, some point out that the press conference for the last New Year at the end of President Moon's term was not properly explained, even with the background of the cancellation rather than postponement. The Blue House is said to have been aware of the seriousness of the corona situation in the region before President Moon left for a tour. As of the 28th, the quarantine authorities said there were 16,000 new confirmed cases of corona. The number of confirmed cases reached 10,000 for the 3rd day, breaking the record high. The number of confirmed cases in Korea is 15,000, and the number of imported cases is 202. The total number of cumulative confirmed cases is 73,600. Although the number of confirmed cases is rapidly increasing, it has not led to an increase in severe cases or deaths. On that day, 300 people were seriously ill, and the daily death toll was 24. So far, the total number of deaths has risen to 6,000. As of the previous day, 43.93 million people had received the 2nd dose of the corona vaccine, and the vaccination rate compared to the total population was 85.6%. The number of people who completed the 3rd vaccination was 26.3 million, and the vaccination rate compared to the population was 51.4%. Virtual humans are increasingly expanding their field of activity. On the 27th, Rosie appeared as an MC on the Xinyan Life YouTube channel and led an interview with broadcasters Hong Seok-cheon and Choi Jae-cheol, former ambassadors for climate change at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. In the video, Rosie made natural movements during the interview and occasionally made a smiling expression. Rosie's voice, which showed only dancing and singing, was also revealed for the first time. In this YouTube video, Rosie solved the ESG, environmental, social, governance, theme of Xinyan Life's wonderful life, from surprising today to tomorrow in various ways, including 3 seconds OX quiz. Rosie, set at the age of 22, showed interest in ESG, environment, society, and governance, in this interview. Xinyan Life is using Rosie as an ESG ambassador. A Xinyan Life official said, "It is meaningful that the role of the virtual model has evolved into a role that can uniquely spread the values and messages that the company pursues, not limited to image branding." The Xinyan Life advertisement and music video in which Rosie appeared were so popular that they recorded about 30 million PVS in total. Virtual humans are playing the roles of real humans in various fields such as show hosts and weathercasters. A virtual human created by LG Electronics, Ray Kim also debuted as a singer. He is enjoying popularity as much as a real person on various SNS such as fashion pictorials and Instagram. The key message of the political promise made by presidential candidate Yoon Suk-yeol on the 27th is summarized as follows. Candidate Yoon said, "The remnants of the imperial president must be thoroughly liquidated. The presidential office of the Yoon Suk-yeol government will be built in the Gwangae-Wamun government complex in Seoul. Candidate Yoon began announcing his promises by criticizing the Moon Jae-in administration's Blue House. Candidate Yoon defined the current Blue House as a place that does not properly respond to national crises or reigns over the Buddha and monopolizes power. He also criticized the government, saying, with the current method, where a small number of close aides direct cabinet affairs and wield arbitrariness, it is no longer possible to lead the country. Regarding the presidential office Yoon Suk-yeol that he envisions, Candidate Yoon said, it will be transformed into a place where the best civil servants and private talents work together. I'll take you inside, he said. Candidate Yoon also added, in the new presidential office, not only staff, but also officials of public-private joint committees by field and liaison officers dispatched from each department will work in one space, freely communicating with each other. Candidate Yoon's idea is to have bureaucrats, politicians, academics, and experts all participate in the public-private joint committee by field to extract the national agenda and manage and check the implementation results. The card he took out was a Blue House operation that was close to dismantling. Candidate Yoon said, the extra-legal president who only advocates authority will no longer exist. The new presidential office will be located in the Gwangae-Wamun government complex in Seoul, and government affairs will begin in a new way in a new space from the first day of his tenure. He added, we will consider moving the presidential residence to the Prime Minister's office in Samcheong-dong, etc. to prepare for security issues. If the promise is realized, the current Blue House will no longer be the president's office and residence. Candidate Yoon mentioned this and said, I will return the Blue House to the people. The Beijing Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games Organizing Committee has asked the athletes to provide free contraceptive condoms to the athletes, but to minimize physical contact. According to Reuters on the 20th, Olympic athletes and officials must live in a closed loop that is blocked from the outside in order to control the coronavirus. All Olympic-related organizations will provide free condoms to those staying in closed loops at an appropriate time, the position said. According to reporters who visited the closed loop, 5 condoms were provided in each room. On the outer surface of the packaging box, a traditional Chinese lantern pattern is drawn on each of the 5 ring flags. However, the organizing committee asked players to minimize physical contact such as hugging, high fives, and handshakes through the playbook, a guideline distributed earlier. It is also recommended to maintain a minimum social distance with fellow athletes. I am very curious about how to use condoms at an emitter distance without physical contact. Thank you for watching today.